Hey, my name is Reuben. Shears. This is going to be behind the scenes of me building my online funnel building agency that I intend on getting to around £50,000 a month very, very soon. So around kind of $60,000 or more. So like I say, this is going to be the bulletproof plan of how I intend on doing that and how you can very likely do the same if you own an agency, business, or an info product, right? This should help massively. So the first thing I want to do to get to this next level is scaling my cold outreach, right? Because we are doing some cold outreach on Instagram right now that is working very, very well. So it naturally makes sense to take that even further. And I want to show you what those numbers look like. So if I go over here, this is kind of the stats exclusively from Instagram DMs in the past week, so August, right? And you can see that we've had 100% show rate, which is amazing. Yep, like only Alex or Mosey really gets numbers like that. 60% average close rate, which is super cool as well, like abnormally high. 4.3k cash collected, so that's pounds, that's around $6,000 like this week, and those are payment plans as well, so that's probably closer to like 10k overall in contracted value. And then we've got a CAC, so a cost to acquire a client, of around £283, and as a result of the amount that I've been spending on software and my setter and stuff, that basically means I have a machine that will be kind of give me a 16.48 ROI. So if I put £1 in or $1 in, I'm going to get 16.48 out, which is super nice. So let me explain like how I've actually done this, because it's all me showing you these numbers and these track numbers, but I want to show you how I've done it. So the reason we've got an average show rate of 100%, obviously it's a relatively small sample size. I haven't taken an unbelievable amount of calls, but we're providing an extreme amount of value on those calls. We're saying to everyone who basically books a call in that we're going to build them a custom demo landing page kind of funnel for when they get on the call, and we kind of showcase them that, and it's fully custom to them, right? So they know that if they join the call, they're going to get something from it, which is why they're showing up. Instead of just saying book a call, there's a massive, massive difference. And it's also the reason that the close rate is higher, because I'm doing this kind of demo of the funnel that's custom to them in the pitch of when I'm actually saying what my services are, right? So it gives me a much higher chance of closing them. I would say this is a bit of an anomaly, but I've done well this week, and that's why it's 60%. And yeah, those are kind of the numbers. So I would say that every single business should have some form of kind of cold outreach running in their business. Doesn't matter whether it's cold email, cold DMs, or anything else. I think it's super important to have that because it's cheap and you can get an ROI from it. You can test offers very quickly, and you can use, most importantly, you can use the money and the revenue and the profit that you get from this cold outreach to spend on things like ads, which are a bit more expensive, but will allow you to scale a company much further. And I'll get to that in a moment. So the second thing I want to do as well is I want to get better at sales. I know I just showed you a 60% close rate, but there's always things to improve on, like certain objection handles and also going for one call closes. So two call closes statistically have not been great for me, especially if I've said the price in the first call. They just don't close that well. So I want to get better at one call closes, and yeah, I mean, that's better for my time as well in terms of auditing my time. So yeah, just getting better at objection handling, doing that, and then having the one call close, and just get that close rate even higher, or just keep it super consistent and just develop that skill. Like sales is one of the best skills you can ever learn, along with the skill of building habits, which I also say is super important. So the third thing, right, is like I'm already running a little bit of ads and stuff, but really for ads to work as well as everyone says they do, you need to spend a decent amount of money. So around 200 a day, that's kind of pounds, but it could be dollars as well, to get results, right? And the reason for that is because to get a book call on ads, it's going to cost you around $200. That's kind of market value to speak to someone qualified, right? Which also means that you're only going to really get 30 calls from that. I guess if you're setting into, when I say setting, I mean like dialing your lead, sorry, like you can get it down to $100. So you might be able to book, say, like 50 calls from this amount of spend if you're doing everything right. So if you reverse engineer that, 50 calls, I've just showed you 100% show rate. I don't expect it to be that, but say it was 80%, then I would have 40 shown. And even if I close, like, say, I don't know, 25% of those, I would still sign 10 clients. And each one of those clients over time is going to pay me at least 3k, which is like 30k, right? And if you add that to a 20k from the extrapolated values over here, because in a month that would be around 17k pounds, so up it a little bit more, it'll be to 20k. Then the 30 plus the 20, even just from that, is going to be 50. believe it or not, which is their 50k goal. So it's not overly complicated, right? But there are things that you can do to make this even easier, which is kind of what these points 4 and 5 are. It just makes my job so much easier, which is just building even more trust around my brand and what we do, and the results that we get for people. So a couple of ways I'm doing that right now is, one is the video that you're watching literally right this second, a YouTube video. I also want to build more like of a main site, not a replacement for the funnel at all. Like, I'm always going to use VSL funnels, but seeing it as more of a client acquisition channel in terms of generating eyeballs and generating attention. So kind of, I mean, like putting blog posts out, like informational stuff on the website to get us more traction. And then most importantly, showing even more social proof. Like, I have loads already, but I'm not leveraging as much as I should. Like, I've got so many clients, so much social proof, and that needs to be everywhere. Like, that needs to be in the marketing, it needs to be in the sales, it needs to be at every single point of my funnel, like kind of multiple touch points. LT, I literally can't remember why I wrote that. So we'll see if I can remember that in a second. But yeah, essentially building trust even more, that we kind of know exactly what we're doing, that we're the authority in the niche, and we are not like scammers or anything. We get results for our clients. It's extremely important to me. I want people to trust that I know what I'm doing. And I guess what ties into this is the more results that we get for people and the more results we can show, right? Like, for example, like Chike, he got onboarded last week and has already signed like a 4k deal. If I can show that, like, and that result, then I'm more likely to get referrals and upsells, and there's a few things I can do to instigate that as well. So for example, when I get a close, so if I close someone in a sales call, I can actually say in that moment, while they're kind of ecstatic about the choice they're about to make, that we can, like, you know, deduct 100 quid off if they just connect me with 3 of their friends that they might think would want the service as well. So that's how to get easy referrals, by the way, is how Alex Hormozy does it. Not to sound like an Hormozy kind of glazer, but that is what he does, and it does work. And then upsells, of course, right? So like, our entry offer right now is kind of around the 3k mark, right? Which is honestly very affordable for pretty much anyone at any level of business. But we are what we do is we have an upsell on the back end, which is much higher ticket, right? Which is where we'll get much more of our revenue from. But if we can get people through the door, get them results, get them in, like, make them more money than they've spent with us, then they're more likely to spend more money with us, which is the fundamentals of business, I guess. So that's a bit of an overview of how I intend on doing that. So just to summarize, 20k from here, if I just send a little bit more DMs and just keep it going. These numbers could be even better if I do this, so view this as a catalyst. This can be at least 30k, but to be honest, if I'm making that, I'll just keep spending on ads even more and more and more. So I might spend 10k, book more calls, make 50k from this, and that's how people get to 100k a month, by the way. Do this, because this is like probably one of the most important, I don't know why I crossed it out, I was trying to underline it, one of the most important things ever, is building a brand. I've kind of neglected that for quite a while. Still made like a lot of money online, like, but done that without really like showing my face too much. But I'm kind of coming out of that era now. I really want to build a real brand, build the main site, stuff like that, social proof, whatever, and then, yeah, like I say, referrals and upsells, and that will be more than enough to get me to that level of business. And the same for you as well. Like, if you kind of follow that framework, start with cold outreach, get that to a point where it's working, test some offers and stuff, then you know that offer's working and you can just plug it in on the ads, right? That's what I'm trying to get across. So super important. Hopefully that helped. If you are, I guess, at this, pretty much any one of these stages, you can make a load of money, right? Most important thing I could ever iterate to anyone is track all of your metrics in your business, so you can make informed decisions, informed numerical decisions. Cool. So I just looked at the time. We're on almost 9 minutes now, which is perfect. So what I'm going to do is just end it by tracking some of my metrics in my business. So let's go and have a look at YouTube. How many subscribers have we got at the moment? Let's have a look. 39. Let's go. I'm super happy about that. So that's another 3 for today. Again, it seems like a small change, but it really isn't. It's an 8% growth, which is like amazing. Let's go to the Instagram thing. I'm not going to say the same thing that I did yesterday, which is that I've not been putting enough effort into to Instagram at all, i.e. not posting like a single bit. And then I just realized I did just say that. And then LinkedIn, 8,074. Let's go. So that is growing also by about 0.4% per day, which is perfectly fine by me. Because what I'm also doing is sending people from the LinkedIn to this YouTube so they can kind of see more of my stuff, learn some stuff, whether it's automations, whether it's business, whether it's whatever, and get some value from it. So that's the daily update for today, and I will most likely see you tomorrow.